I caught it on her tone. The way that she said that, I was like, nah, there's something else here. That's not your story to tell. Boy, do I regret sending that. She doesn't actually know that I know all of this stuff. So if you watch it, I know you're shit and I know how much of a snake you are. Hi guys, my name is Annika Jamal and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our little family. We are small, but we are mighty. Today's video, I was like going back and forth. Like, I was like, do I film this? Do I put it up? Like, I don't know. But you know what? Like, this is my truth. So let's go in. I was thinking about it for a while, and you know what, everyone's getting code names, so it's cool, you know. So there were five friends. We started off as five. Me, obviously. Let's name her Alia. So me and Alia were like the best of friends. Then we have Blair. Yeah. So then we have, let's call her Serena, since we went with Blair, then we'll go with Serena. And then we have Snake. Now that's a bit rude, isn't it? Taylor. Rude, but a subtle rude, you know what I'm saying? Wait, how do we get to five? So we got Alia, Blair, Serena, Taylor. Oh wait, okay, six then. There were six of us. The sixth one is the irrelevant one, hence why I forgot her off my list. Us six were good friends. Me and Alia were really close and we went our separate ways in uni in second year because of the irrelevant one. Actually, no, it wasn't because of her, but whatever. Anyways, so that story aside, Blair and Taylor, they used to be how me and Alia were. And they broke up and aren't friends anymore. Serena is friends with all of us, every single one of us. I don't know if she really talks to the relevant one. So this story is about Taylor, if you hadn't already noticed. Me and Taylor, we knew each other from high school, but we weren't really close in high school. We became closer in college, but we still weren't like this yet, you know. Then we found out that we were going to the same university, and I literally remember when we found out, we had work, so we were skipping from college to work together, and we were like singing, we're getting into Westminster, we're getting into Westminster. It was literally one of my favourite memories. The first thing happened when Taylor was going through a lot, and because she was going through a lot, I made so many excuses for her in my mind. Like, I made so many excuses. But anyway, so Serena and Taylor were gonna meet up. Taylor insists that there was a specified time, but Serena says that there wasn't. It was just like, let's meet up kind of thing. According to Taylor, Serena came really late and stuff and whatever, and then she rang her. Something happened with Serena's sister, and Serena's sister rang her and she ran to her, and she was at Nando's at the time or something like that, so she went to her and to, you know, comfort her and whatever. When Taylor rang her, she said, oh, I'm with my sister in Nando's, I'm coming, or something like that. Taylor just kind of lost it and was like, go away kind of thing, you're choosing your sister and Nando's over me and whatever and all of this stuff. Serena rang me and was like, Annie, look, like this and this happened, like I'm really worried about her, she's not answering my calls and stuff, you ring her, maybe she might pick up your calls. So I was like, okay, fine. So I rang her and I'm like, are you okay, like what's going on and stuff. She was like, oh, Serena chose her sister over me, blah blah blah, and all of this stuff. Like, and I was like trying to explain to her, oh no, something happened, it wasn't like that. And then she started going off on me for backing her, and I was like, I'm not backing her, I'm just telling you what the story was. Like, that's just what happened, you know. I'm not backing her or like supporting her. Like, I get it, like you're her, but like you need to know the context, otherwise you're just wasting feelings. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of being hurt about something that isn't actually it? Like, like her sister was in trouble. If any of my family were in trouble, bruv, I would drop everything for them. That's just the way I see it anyway. She was like, I don't even believe her, she made that up, da da da. And I was like, okay, like, how you gonna say this ain't no boy? Do you get me? Like, I just don't get that. Like, why she wouldn't make something like that up, especially it being her. Like, that's your best friend. Like, how are you saying that she's lying to you? Like, I just can't. She had to go at me because I wasn't being supportive. I understand that you're hurt and that, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie to comfort you. That's just my opinion and how I would go with things as well. Like, I'd drop everything for my family. If my brother rang me and told me he was in trouble and I was doing something or busy with someone else, I would freaking run, jump and leap to help him, kind of thing. Like, that's my little brother at the end of the day. Like, she was gonna come to you anyway, so I just don't understand. And she wasn't doing it intentionally to hurt you, kind of thing. Like, okay, we get it, like, you needed us, but at the same time, she was gonna come to you anyway, and she was trying to be there for you when she could, you know? Everyone's not a superhero. After that, she started being really weird with me, but I was like, I apologized and stuff. I said, I'm sorry that you felt that I wasn't supportive and all of that. I would like snap her or like start a conversation, but she'd just play dead. I'm just like, I really don't understand like what you want from me. I'm not gonna fucking lick your toes, do you get me? Kind of thing. But anyways, she was going through so much, so I was like, I just took it kind of thing, because I was like, she's just pushing me away, she's just pushing me away, it's all right, everything's fine, like, it's just like that. She's just having one of those times kind of thing. So it's cool, like, you know, we'll get through it regardless. So one time I messaged her just to check in, and she was like, Annika, I want space. Like, I don't want friends. I don't want any friends. I don't want any best friends. We can see each other like once a year or something. Like, I don't want to be friends with anybody. I was really upset by that, actually. Like, I was just like, she's like, you're taking it too personally. I'm like, we've been best friends like for freaking years. Like, of course I'm gonna take it personally. Like, I don't understand. But I was just thought, you know what? Okay, she's just saying this stuff because she's upset and she's hurt and she's going through a lot. So again, I just took it on the chin. I was like, okay, gave her space. Her graduation passed. I didn't wish her because I thought she wanted space. So I didn't message her, and then something happened in my life. I was going into my master's year, but they weren't going to let me through because I hadn't completed an undergraduate exam. They were telling me that I had to finish that exam and do like a gap year. So the whole year I'll only sit one exam and then start my master's the following year. And then I was just really upset about that because it was like a whole year being wasted, and I was just really upset because I wanted to finish everything all at once kind of thing, get it over and done with, and graduate with the people that I had started it with. I do an LLM, by the way, so everything is combined. I just thought that they would let me carry it over, which they did in the end, they did. But at that moment, I didn't know that they were going to give me an allowance for it and allow me to do the extra exam during my master's year. They didn't want me to do it at the time because they understood how crazy a master's is, so to add another exam onto it is a bit mad. But they let me do it in the end. But at that time I didn't know that. So I rang her and she didn't pick up. Then she rang me back and she was like, what's up, kind of thing. And I told her, and she was just acting like it was no big deal and just being really just not present. And I was just like, okay then, I see how it is, kind of thing. Like, I reached out to her and I just felt like she wasn't there. So I was like, you know what, forget it. I was like, all right, bye, take care. And I hung up. Because she was acting like, oh, it's no big deal, kind of thing. But for me, it was a big deal. I wasn't going to be able to sit the masters that I had been planning to do for ages. Like, of course it was a big deal. It was a massive deal to me. So she was just acting like no big deal, whatever, which is ironic because she went through, well, from what I know, we're not friends anymore, but from what I know, she went through something similar and she's like upset about that. And I'm just like, mad, innit? how it affects you when you're the one that's going through it, but when it was happening to me, no big deal. Thing is, this Taylor was a really big part of my life. Like, we did so much together. We would meet up all the time we met up so much during our time at university, like so much. We like really built on our friendship, and she like said things to me that made me, oh my god, I'm getting emotional, oh my god, don't cry. So I wrote her a handwritten letter, just a sweet, nice letter that I wrote for her, and in the end I said something like, there's no pressure to reply. If you don't want to reply, you don't have to reply, like no big deal, but congratulations on graduating and all of this stuff, and I hope you're happy, I hope you're well, and blah blah blah, and I'll always be here for you no matter what, blah blah blah, all of that stuff. And I just wrote it in a handwritten letter, and I gave it to her little brother, and I was like, can you give her a big hug from me and stuff. And yeah, anyways, I got no response. I bumped into her at this train station. I think I was coming back from uni, and she must have been coming back from uni too, and we just bumped into each other at King's Cross. So from King's Cross all the way back home, I like went like this to her, and she like guessed that it was me, and I was like, okay. And then we got on the train together, and then she started the conversation like, so I liked your letter. And I was like, really? Because your little brother told me that you absolutely hated it and you thought it was really cringy and horrible. And she's like, well, I just thought that's your thing, innit? And I just thought it was really awkward. And I'm like, how is that bloody awkward? I'm your bloody best friend. Well, it was. I was just like, in my head I was thinking, what's wrong with you, bruv? It was a nice gesture. It's not about whether it was my thing or your thing or whatever. It was just supposed to be something sentimental and sweet. I didn't have to do that, but it was just to show you that I care. She's like, you didn't wish me happy graduation or whatever. You didn't wish me congrats and stuff. And I was like, well, you told me you wanted space. She's like, well, why did you ring me with your problems then? Didn't you think, oh, she wants space, I shouldn't ring her? And in my head I just thought, wow, because if I wanted space for someone and they needed me, or anyone, even anybody that I don't like at the moment, if somebody reached out to me and was like, Annie, like, I just need to talk, I just need to release my demons and stuff, I just want to talk, I would never be like, well, you didn't do this 15 years ago, or you didn't do this and this and this. Like, that's so petty. Like, I don't know, I just thought like, wow, that's so uncalled for. But okay, fine, I won't ring you with my problems anymore. So she said so many things on that train journey, like, wow. So she said things like, you are this kind of person and you're that kind of person. And it's like, it's hard to hear because this is somebody that you've opened your heart to for years. You've told this person so much about yourself, and they're turning around and telling you you're a horrible person, you're this, you're that. And it's just like, wow, what did I ever do to you other than not say congratulations on your graduation day? Like, wow. Did I deserve that? She goes, I was never happy whenever I spent time with you. Every time me, you and Serena spent time together, I felt like you guys had this opinion. You would always have opinions that you were trying to shove down my throat and all of this stuff. I was like, hold up a second, honey. Me, you and Serena met up like what? 3 times most that year. Don't be like every time. She's like, no, I'm pretty sure we met up way more than that. I'm like, okay, how many times then? She can't count, she can't think, because we didn't. Like, Serena went to a different uni and I spent a lot of time in our town, so me and her spent time together, but we would never, the only time that I can think of us 3 being together is Taylor's birthday, where we hang out, and I made like an itinerary and let her choose what she wanted to do for the day and all of that stuff. That's the only time that I can fully remember us, and there must have been some other time, but I can't even, I'm just adding the 3rd time for leeway, do you get me? So there's possibly 3 times, and I always have my own opinion. I will never shove my opinion down anyone else's throat. I'm so vocal about having my own say. I would never control anybody else's mind or thoughts or whatever. So for her to come out and say that we were trying to control whatever was going on in her brains, like, I'm just like, I don't know what kind of conversation you were in. Like, I'm so confused. I was like, why didn't you speak up then? Like, if you don't agree with something, speak up. She's like, I didn't feel comfortable. We've been friends since high school. How can you not be comfortable? Or if you felt like this, why didn't you pull out sooner? Like, I just don't get it. She then went on to say every time that me and her spent time together, she was never happy. She never really, like, you know, whatever, and all of this stuff. And I was like, hold on, every single time we're freaking laughing, rolling on the bloody floor. I literally have videos of us rolling on the floor, freaking laughing our heads off, and like literally crying because we're laughing so much. I'm like, how can you fake that? Okay, you weren't you happy in those moments? Because I remember when we went to Thought Park together during Halloween, and we were literally so hyper, laughing so much. Like, that was one of my best memories I have with her. And she's like, every single time that she spent with me, she wasn't happy. I'm like, okay then. So then she said so many more things, but I just can't remember. It's been a while. But bear in mind, all this stuff that she's saying to me, I'm still making excuses for her in my head. I'm flooding, my eyes are like tearing, like I'm crying so much. And she's just spitting out these things to me and saying all these horrible things to me. And I'm like, in my head I'm thinking, wow, like, okay, you're either pushing me away, like you're just trying to push me away, and you don't like want anyone in your life right now because you're sad and stuff. I get it, like like I'm still making excuses for her in my mind. So I'm like, you know, okay, whatever, it's cool, it's cool. So we get off the train. I'm like, okay, all of this aside, like, I apologize if I've ever hurt you, or if you've ever, you know, felt that I've done something wrong. Like, and I'm sorry that I didn't say congratulations on your graduation day. But, you know, I feel like a friendship is based on us trying to get over things, and, you know, like, we don't just fall at the first hurdle and we try and build past things. That's what a friendship is based on. And she goes, I think a friendship is based on saying congratulations on somebody's graduation day. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, bye. Hugged her, left. And I was like, I'm done. I walked to Serena's house, rang Serena. I was crying so much. I was like, I need you right now. Like, I just really need a hug. And I literally ran into her arms and sobbed in her arms. Like, I was just so hurt. So after all of this stuff, something else happened, and I must have sent her a message because I saw she was doing well in something. So I must have sent a message and said, just know that I'm so proud of you and I'll always support you no matter what, or something like that. Boy, do I regret sending that. I gotta tell you something about myself for you guys to get this part of the story, bro. I used to have a anonymous writing account. It was a ghostwriting account, so I would write things that, you know, I have like poetry and stuff on my spoken word poetry on my channel. I used to write little quotation things and post it on Instagram. So that's something that you probably didn't know about me. 4 of my friends knew about this, Taylor being one of them. So very few of my friends knew about this, and this was something that was personal to me. So it was like my heart and soul on this thing, and like some of them would be made up, some of them are like parts of my heart, some of them are my thoughts, some of them, it was just like a very personal thing to me. I didn't want people to know about it. Now I don't care if people know about it because it doesn't exist, so it doesn't really matter if people know about it. It's just something I used to have. Oh, this is something that I've got to tell you about. So I remember before, Taylor would tell me about, you know, the irrelevant girl that I mentioned earlier. She would say how, oh, she would tell the irrelevant girl stories and stuff, and how she'd be upset, and then she went around her house, and then her mum would be like, oh my god, I heard this and this happen, and she would be really upset that that the irrelevant girl would betray her trust by telling her mother, which I completely agree with. Okay, I get it, that's your mother, but if I tell you something, then it should stay between us, not you telling X, Y, and Z. No matter how close you think you are to that person, that's not your story to tell. That I absolutely completely agree with. This actually happened during the time where I think we were on talking terms at this time. So it might have been before some of the end stuff that I told you about, because I didn't really believe it too much. So her auntie, I knew her because we used to work together, but her auntie started sending really abusive things on my account. account, so she'd comment things, and I thought, okay, she probably doesn't know that it's me, and she's just one of them weirdos that goes around commenting, giving hate to people that she doesn't know and have no face, and it's an anonymous account. Like, how are you giving hate to that person? So I just thought she was just one of them saddos. But then I said it to my friend, and she was like, Annika, like, come on, you know that Taylor must have told her. Like, she must have. Or Taylor knows that this person is giving hate. That's her auntie, like, do you get me? But I gave her the benefit of the doubt, and I don't know why. Like, I just didn't. I'm so silly. I wish I had known. I wish I had. Oh, but I just thought she was my best friend and all of this stuff. She would never tell someone else my business and all of that. But oh boy, was I bloody wrong. Anyways, so I didn't think that. So this is like, so now after all of this stuff happened, I think I was on the phone to someone, and they were saying how Taylor's auntie was going around saying how she put me in my place and said all of these things. Bear in mind, this lady's like 35, 40. She's like old. She's got a kid. Like, she should know better. Why is she giving hate to, like, I was so young as well. Like, what the heck? Anyways, to somebody her freaking thingy's age. Ugh, she makes me sick. So she was going around boasting about how she put me in my place and said all these things to me. So then I was like, oh, so she knows that that account belonged to me. That means that that person did tell her. And I was thinking, oh my God, Taylor broke my trust like that. Like, I can't believe it. Like, what the hell? Why would you do that? So then I rang Serena, and I remember this so clearly. I rang Serena, I'm like, you'll never guess what I just found out. Turns out her auntie did actually know that that was me, and Taylor did actually tell Thingy about that account that was mine, and, you know, which is like such an invasion of my privacy kind of thing. Like, okay, it's an account and it's anonymous and all of that stuff, but for you to tell somebody something that, you know, is secretive and you shouldn't be telling someone else kind of thing. I don't know. Anyway, so then she was like, oh, I'm not surprised. And I caught it on her tone. The way that she said that, I was like, nah, there's something else here. I'm like, why did you just say that like that? She's like, Annie, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I'm like, what do you mean you can't bloody tell me? Tell me, spill it now. Obviously, it took a bit longer for me to get over. She goes, I'm not surprised because she told me something about you that I'm not supposed to know. And I was like, shut the front door. And I'm like, okay, what did she tell you? And I can't tell you what this was, unfortunately, but she knew something that I had only told Taylor. That is something that I had only confided in Taylor about, and she went and told another person. And I went skit. I started swearing and everything, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I know I'm not supposed to be swearing at you, but I'm not swearing at you. I'm swearing at the universe, and I'm directing it at Taylor, because this is why I called her a snake before. And she's like going around telling people my business. And I'm like, someone else told me a long time ago that in college that she didn't like me and she would always say things about me. But I didn't want to believe all of these things. Like, I was just like, you know what? Like, I want to take somebody as they present themselves to me. But I wish I had known. The only reason that I believe these things is because it connects. Like, she's the only person that knew about those things, and her auntie obviously is connected to her. So for them to all find out these things and these things to come out, it's because of her. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So it makes sense that it came from her. Whereas the other things, I was just like, they're just like distant things. College was ages ago, whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's in your heart, but I don't know. It upsets me so much. Like, if you've hated me all of this time, why were we friends for so long? Like, why did you say that you'd treat me like how nobody else has treated me before and all of that? Well, to be fair, she freaking did, because nobody else has been such a snake to me like that before. And I so regret saying some of the nice things that I did to her, because I'm just like, oh, I wish I hadn't. She doesn't actually know that I know all of this stuff, so if you're watching, I know you're shit and I know how much of a snake you are. I just kind of let it go, and I never spoke to her, I never confronted her about any of this. But yeah, I know it, and she didn't turn out to be the best friend that she was. And maybe the real reason really broke our friendship off, not because I didn't say congratulations on her graduation day, but because she actually felt so guilty about being a shit friend and going around telling people my business. Like, I'm not being funny, but even if I'm like, I've been friends with people that have told me things and we're not friends anymore, I would never voice those things to anybody, because you told me those things when we had a relationship of trust. And you know, so as soon as you tell me those things, they're locked inside of me and they're not coming out of my mouth ever. It's just mad. So God only knows what she really thinks of me, but right now I really don't give a shit. So yeah, I mean, it hurt because I was like, wow, like, I can't believe how fake you were. Like, if you really didn't like me all of this time, why did we have this friendship for such a long time and we hung out for so many times? I don't know, like, I just don't get it. I still don't understand till this day. I'm like, wow, how can somebody be so freaking evil? That pretty much completes this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.